I absolutely love this, and just for the reason you say, I don't think I've ever heard anything like it, and you know, I feel like that's kind of the hardest thing to do as artists now. It's just, you know, it feels like every rock has been lifted, man. Like, you know, so to try and create a sound that is, you know, genuinely original, is the task at hand.
It is time.
You're familiar with DOMi and JD Beck, right, Bill?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, DOMi has a pick for you, and that's actually our next song. And her message to you is actually about this song called "Love It" by Maurice II. Are you familiar with them?
Yes. Wow, amazing, man. I've never met Domi. I've always wanted to meet her, man.
Well,
That's wicked.
as you were saying, EJ, before, DOMi and JD Beck are getting really, really big. We've listened to them multiple times on this show, and funny enough, talking about simplicity in songs and still making them very, very compelling. This is a message from DOMi to you, Bill. I picked this song because it's a good example that we can make interesting and intricate music that still sounds easy and groovy. And the song that she picked is "Love It" from Maurice II's album "Love It." We're listening to this on Galaxy Jams Reacts.
One, two. Best thing that happened to me in my life. Not qualified, all the wings to fly.
Wow.
Wow, it sounds like just you're just taking a whole bunch of different parts of songs and putting them together in a very, very unique way, right?
sampling it almost,
Very
yeah.
avant-garde. What do you think, Mike?
So when I listen to DOMi and JD Beck, one thing that I usually use to describe their music is hyper maximalism. It's like how you can cram like as much things into something as possible. I also sometimes use that to describe bands like the Mars Volta, where it's kind of just like they're like taking it like as far as they can into the limits. And I feel like what we're listening to, it kind of reminds me of like a scrapbook of different memories that you're sort of flipping through. And it sounds like disjointed, but at the same time, it has some kind of flow going on. And it just really keeps me like engaged the whole time. Like essentially I'm flip flopping to like, what am I listening to like, is this greatness or not? And I'm still like, like the whole thing just makes my brain like think of, you know, like what is music and like, what's the purpose of it? And like, what kind of mood are you trying to set? And like, how can you use the tools on hand to really project like your own self into yourself and into the audience that you're wanting to listen to it. And with this song, I just feel like it just sounds so new age and just sort of like all over the place, you know?
Yeah, the hits were coming in at such a interesting. I don't know if it's a strange time signature or if it's just that those hits are coming in at very, very interesting.
And it was like
times.
on purpose. Like
on purpose, yeah, it was
Right.
repeatable. But when you listen to JD Beck and you listen to the drum parts when they're playing, I'm not surprised that that DOMi would pick something like this because the drum part is just so interesting, and I don't think I've ever heard anything else like it. What did you think, Bill?
Yeah, I absolutely love this. And just for the reason you say, I don't think I've ever heard anything like it. And I feel like that's kind of the hardest thing to do as artists now. It's just, it feels like every rock has been lifted, man. Like, so to try and create a sound that is, genuinely original, is the task at hand. And this is that, man. And yet there's enough there to keep you with it.
Yeah.
I find it super kind of ambitious and just inspiring. This is an amazing track. It makes me want to write some classical music like this.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
and I like what you mentioned about that. It just gives you enough to go with it. It sounds like you're in this gigantic whirlpool, and there's like this very very thin fishing line that's the only thing you have to hold on to. And I feel like they created this song to put like at the most bare minimum that they possibly could to keep you like like kind of like on the ride with them, right? Even whether it's like a little drum part or like a tactfully placed transition, it's kind of just like, on paper it sounds all over the place, but when you listen to it intently, they give you little clues that like kind of, is like a maze where it's like a little puzzle to like keep your brain of like, oh, like what is this song and how am I making sense of it? And they're strategically giving you like the precise tools to like let you do that.
Exactly. Love it.
So cool. Wow.
Reminds me of Jacob Collier, the way that the vocals are layered.
Love those harmonies.
What it kind of reminds me of, I'm gonna put it in a different place. What it kind of reminds me of is if you had a whole bunch of different tracks, right? And you're like, I'm gonna make a song out of these different tracks, and I'm gonna put them together, and I'm gonna make it work. It's almost like modern art of music.
Sounds sampled.
Oh, that's a good way to
like
put
an
it, yeah.
avant-garde sampling.
Yeah, like a modern
It
art
does, yeah.
collage of music.
Collage is a good word. Yeah.
Yeah, feels like just next generation music. It's just like
Yeah.
so fresh, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's really fresh in like the most literal sense of the word, because when we were listening to this, I was thinking like, I don't really listen to like anything like this. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know that many people that do. And I feel like it's like the job of younger generations to lead the pioneer and pass the torch to different types of music and things like that, because there's still something to be said to, make an homage to the greats, but you also have to make your own way too.
Absolutely.
And, using tried and true methods and, different things that work well in the past and have been commercially successful is a good blueprint. But it's like, diving deep and doing something that's like off the beaten path is like, how you really get your own voice to shine.
Definitely. And I mean, you can even imagine that from freeform jazz before that,
Mm-hmm.
how it hit the ears of people that had never heard anything like that before. And they're like, what is this? I can't even
And
follow.
a lot of them were just like, this just sounds like bullshit.
This
You
sounds
know
like
what
noise,
I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it
it's
sounds
not.
like straight
It's-
noise, but you have to really listen to it with a certain ear, and you have to like be on the ride with them, right? You
right.
can't just come in.
It-
Go on.
Exactly, yeah, and I was going to say, just it feels like the kind of thing that like all the next younger generation are going to be into in like
Yeah.
a few years. I mean, it's like that everyone, and this is going to be the new cool thing, like in a few years. It's like it's kind of that far ahead of it. It feels like it's just ahead of its time, but like that time is coming.
It's gonna be that along with the brain chips.
Yeah. Everybody's just listening to it in their own head.
This just entered my head. Like U2, they put it on your phone automatically. It's going to go in your brain chip.
It sounded like AI music almost. It sounded like if you went to a computer and you told the computer to make music, that's what it would make.
Make songs the kids would like.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah. I want you to make things that the children would enjoy. Enter. Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed that a lot. That was very unique and, like you said, very fresh. I feel like it kind of like cleansed my brain for a bit with a different style of music. So thanks again, DOMi, for bringing that to us. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, DOMi. Amazing.
Hi, this is Mike with Galaxy Jams Reacts. We hope that you enjoyed that React video. Be sure to check out the links below of when we're going to be live streaming our next show and also how to watch full episodes. Please hit that subscribe button. Every single one helps.